Many believe poverty is simply not having enough money, but it's far more than that. It's a mindset that silently erodes your potential. Your future isn't determined by where you're from, your education, or your circumstances. It's shaped by the way you think, the actions you take, and the decisions you make every single day. I'm here to tell you that true wealth begins the moment you take full responsibility for your life. Every habit you hold on to, whether it builds you up or tears you down, carves the path to your financial destiny. If you're struggling now, it's not because failure is your fate. It's because you haven't yet broken the patterns holding you back. But the good news is, you can start today. With discipline, constant growth, and intentional effort, you can shatter any cycle of scarcity. Success doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of practicing the right habits with relentless commitment. Here's a truth many avoid. Your wealth isn't defined by how much you earn, but by how you manage what you have. This reality dismantles the myth that a bigger paycheck fixes everything. If you can't wisely handle a small amount, you won't manage larger sums any better. Money doesn't change who you are. It reveals and amplifies your existing traits. That's why the first habit you must eliminate is living beyond your means. This habit is so widespread that you might not even see it in yourself. You're stretched thin, living from one paycheck to the next. The moment money arrives, it's already promised elsewhere, gone before you can plan. Impulse purchases, wants posing as needs, and credit cards promising freedom but delivering chains, they all pile up. You're not at fault for thinking this is just how life works. Most people around you live the same way. Society has conditioned you to spend rather than save, to impress rather than invest, to let emotions drive your financial choices instead of logic. This habit, though it seems harmless, is a silent thief, stealing your future while keeping you distracted in the moment. It's a hidden trap. Every small expense, a subscription you barely use, takeout you could have avoided, a gadget you didn't need, adds up. Worse, it trains you to live without a safety net, without flexibility, without control. When life throws an unexpected challenge, your finances crumble because you have no savings, no strategy, just growing debts, rising interest, and the constant chase for money that slips away. Breaking this cycle demands more than resolve. It requires a deliberate choice. You must confront your financial reality with unflinching honesty. Track every dollar you spend, examine where it goes, and ask courageously, is this moving me toward the life I want or pulling me away? That's where transformation begins. You don't need a higher salary. You need structure, focus, and the habit of saving, even if it's just a small amount. It's not about the number. It's about what it represents. Control over yourself. Each time you save, you're telling your mind, my future is worth more than my impulses today. That message, repeated faithfully, forges a new character. One that's resilient, strategic, and committed to your long-term success. Here's the game changer. When you master your money, you begin to master your life. Your finances are tied to your confidence, your self-worth, and your ability to prioritize lasting value over fleeting desires. This journey isn't easy. You'll face resistance. You'll feel the urge to quit. But if you keep going, if you stay disciplined, you'll see progress, small at first, but growing steadily. One day, you'll realize you're no longer teetering on the edge. You'll have savings, options, and peace. Not because of luck, but because of consistent, courageous choices. Poverty isn't just empty pockets. It's a lack of a plan. Every habit you shift builds that plan, guiding you toward abundance, security, and growth. You're not destined to fail. You're one daily choice away from transforming everything. Let me be clear. Your financial future isn't shaped by your income size, but by how you handle every dollar you touch. This truth may unsettle you because it demands accountability, but it's also empowering. Your current circumstances aren't a life sentence. They're the result of past choices, and you can start reversing them now. The first habit trapping you is subtle, yet devastating, spending more than you earn. This behavior is so ingrained in our culture that it's rarely questioned. The moment money arrives, you're already planning how to spend it. Many commit their income before it even arrives, through loans, credit card payments, or rash promises. It's not just about buying things or covering essentials, it's the mindset behind it. A mindset that ties money to instant rewards, short-lived pleasures, or a false sense of freedom that actually binds you. It's a way of living that chases quick gratification, even if it means stress at the end of the month, mounting debt, or dependence on the next paycheck. This mindset isn't born of bad intentions. It stems from a lack of awareness. Maybe you were never taught how to manage money. Perhaps you grew up hearing money is scarce, or wealthy people are selfish. You were conditioned to believe money vanishes quickly, that it's not meant to stay, that it's always out of reach, and worst of all, that you have no power over it. That's why overspending feels normal, not like a mistake. This belief keeps you stuck, repeating the same exhausting cycle. But it's not inevitable, it's learned, and anything learned can be unlearned. Begin by observing your spending without judgment. For 1 week, write down every expense, no matter how small. You'll uncover patterns, impulsive buys, unnecessary costs, choices made on autopilot. That clarity is your power, revealing what you've been doing without thinking. This awareness is your first step toward financial freedom. Once you see the truth, commit to building your future, not just living for today. Learn to delay gratification, saying, I'm choosing something greater, not because I can't afford this, but because I want more. Every dollar saved, every purchase skipped, is a step toward your independence. That independence is built through intentional habits. Most people never build wealth because they don't understand how it's created. They think it's about a big break, a raise, or a lucky opportunity. But I've studied countless success stories, and one truth stands out. Financial mastery begins with self-mastery. It's about the discipline to spend less than you earn, the wisdom to use money purposefully, and the humility to learn to manage even when it feels like there's nothing to manage. If you earn a modest amount today and spend it all, you'll do the same tomorrow, even if your income grows. It's not about how much you bring in. It's about how much you keep, invest, and protect for the future. Breaking this habit is tough. You'll confront your pride, your emotions, your ingrained beliefs. You'll be tempted to slip back, to justify a small splurge, to think it won't matter. But every time you resist, every time you save instead of spend, every time you say, I don't need this, you grow stronger. You're crafting a new identity, one that's accountable, aware, and financially mature. This identity becomes the cornerstone of your future achievements. When you master wise resource management, no income is too small. Every dollar has a purpose, a direction, a role in your larger plan. The journey to true wealth starts with respect for your money, your effort, and your future. Don't wait for a bigger paycheck to change. Start today with what you have. Mastering your finances is about mastering yourself, and that mastery lasts forever. Even when wealth flows in, you'll remain the person who thrived with less, who resisted temptation, who planned strategically. That's why you'll never return to poverty, because you've embraced the truth most overlook. Real wealth is rooted in quiet habits, personal choices, and an unrelenting resolve to rise above survival and choose to thrive. The second habit keeping you trapped is just as subtle but equally destructive, delaying critical decisions. Procrastination is a form of self-sabotage, convincing you you're waiting for the perfect moment when you're actually avoiding effort, risk, or discomfort. It feels like control, but it's surrender. Every time you postpone a choice you know you need to make, you lose time, opportunities, and mental strength. You tell yourself you'll act when you have more resources, more time, or feel ready. But that perfect moment never arrives. Perfection is a myth. Fear of failure hides behind excuses like caution or reason. Meanwhile, life moves on, debts pile up, years pass, and your frustration grows. Procrastination feels safe, but it's barren. It keeps you busy but not productive, distracted but unchanged. It's like sitting in a car with the engine running, burning fuel but going nowhere. To break this habit, rethink how you approach action. You don't need inspiration to move forward. That's a lie that stalls you. You think you need energy, passion, or certainty to tackle something big. But action creates motivation, not the other way around. Start doing what's necessary without waiting for the right mood. The drive will follow once you see progress. Progress comes when you choose, act, and face potential mistakes with courage. Deciding isn't easy, I understand. It means letting go of the fantasy that success comes without effort. It means picking a path, accepting obstacles, and embracing setbacks. But it's the only road to growth, clarity, and freedom. Your daily energy for decision-making is limited. Every time you procrastinate, you waste a choice, filling the gap with distractions or meaningless tasks. You prioritize the urgent over the important, those choices that could reshape your life if you face them directly. Procrastination's worst trick is the false calm it offers. Avoiding what scares you feels like relief, but it's a slow poison that dulls your senses, slows your progress, and makes you reliant on external change. One day, you'll realize you've lost years to unmade choices, unrealized ideas, and opportunities you let slip by. What if you flip the script today? Commit to one meaningful decision daily, no matter how small or daunting. Every action strengthens you, turning you into someone who takes charge, who doesn't need ideal conditions to move forward. This habit builds confidence, widens your perspective, and expands your impact. Wealth is about decisions, not just dollars. Successful people think quickly, act decisively, and adjust as they go. They don't stall or demand certainty. They create purpose through action. Pick one decision you've been avoiding and act on it today. It doesn't matter if it's tough. What matters is that you do it. Each action sends a message to your mind. I'm different now. I'm no longer bound by fear or time. I'm a person of action. That message, repeated consistently, reshapes who you are, and who you are drives what you achieve. Don't let fear of mistakes keep you trapped in poverty. Fear staying stuck more. Fear living a life confined by a smaller version of yourself. Every decision is a chance to grow, learn, and evolve. Choose to act today, even if you're afraid, because the cost of waiting is always heavier than the cost of trying. The third habit, often masked as practicality or modesty, is thinking small. It's not about lacking dreams. It's about capping them at what feels achievable within your current reality. You convince yourself it's fine to settle, that a steady job is enough, that you're doing better than some. This mindset slowly dims your ambition, narrows your possibilities, and extinguishes your inner spark. Thinking small is choosing fear over potential. It's making choices from scarcity, doubt, or the worry that reaching for more might cost you what you have. But this approach is a quiet surrender. Someone who doesn't grow settles for a lesser life, one without purpose or results that reflect their true potential. You might not see it happening. You call it realism, but often it's fear in disguise. That fear builds internal walls. You limit yourself daily with thoughts like, this isn't for me, that's too ambitious, or I'll never pull that off. These thoughts script a life of limits. Your outer world will never outgrow your inner vision. If your vision is small, so are your outcomes. This isn't about chasing wild fantasies. It's about daring to envision something greater. What you imagine with clarity and purpose pulls you toward it. Your mind aligns your actions with what you believe is possible. Thinking big changes how you act. Your thoughts are instructions your brain follows. Say, I can't, and you freeze. Say, I might be able to, and your energy, focus, and choices shift. Thinking big isn't ego. It's honoring your potential. You're here to grow, to contribute, to make a difference. It pushes you out of your comfort zone, forcing you to learn new skills and tackle bigger challenges. That discomfort signals growth, a step into a higher arena with greater rewards. If you're hearing this, a voice inside whispers, you're meant for more. Don't silence it. Nurture it. Surround yourself with bold ideas, people who stretch your thinking, books, and conversations that remind you your life isn't meant to be small. Write your goals clearly and make them big. Write goals that intimidate you, ones you don't yet know how to reach, because those are worth chasing. Act as if they're certain. Commitment to a bold goal activates your mind, revealing resources, ideas, and connections once invisible. Thinking big won't make you wealthy overnight, but it sets you on the path of the successful. They see opportunities where others see barriers, acting from vision, not fear. That's what sets them apart. It's not your education, luck, or network. It's your mindset, and you can change it. Start now and don't stop, because your life only expands as far as you dare to dream. The fourth habit trapping you is relying on willpower and waiting for inspiration. Many talented people with big dreams stall, saying, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll act when I feel ready. That's the trap. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Waiting to feel prepared wastes time. Days become weeks, weeks become years, and you're still in the life you swore you'd change. Willpower matters, but falters without systems and routines that drive you forward, even on off days. Emotions are unreliable. One day you're energized, the next you're drained. If your progress hinges on your mood, you're setting yourself up to fail. Lasting change comes from discipline, the person who acts despite feelings, turning choices into habits, not reactions. Imagine you're already the person you aspire to be. What choices would you make daily? How would you act with purpose, stability, and freedom? Start acting like that today. Don't wait for discipline to appear. Build it through daily choices. Discipline isn't a rare gift. It's a practice. It's the unseen strength behind your goals. Without it, dreams fade, talents go unused, and potential stays theoretical. Start with one action you can do without feeling good. Waking earlier, avoiding your phone first thing, or writing your goals daily. Repeat it until it's part of you. Each action without emotional reliance tells your brain, I'm in control, not my excuses, fears, or laziness. That message rewires you, shifting your life steadily and genuinely. Discipline creates structure. Structure yields results, and results fuel motivation. Waiting to feel ready has destroyed more dreams than any external force. It hides as logic or wisdom, but is fear. Fear of failure, change, or a new life. Conquer fear by acting, even when doubt lingers. Courage isn't fearlessness. It's moving forward despite fear, built through daily practice and firm choices. No one builds a thriving life waiting for daily motivation. Freedom, emotional, spiritual, financial, comes from believing your future outweighs present ease. You'll have days of doubt, fatigue, or uncertainty, but keep going. That's the difference between dreamers and achievers. Dreamers wait for a spark. Achievers act until it appears. When you grasp this, you'll stop envying others' success. The difference isn't luck or talent. It's the quiet discipline most won't maintain, but which guarantees results. Break free from poverty by rejecting the need for motivation to start. Begin today, without excitement or fanfare, just with the resolve to be different. Acting when you don't want to crosses the line between ordinary and extraordinary. The fifth habit, often unnoticed but deeply limiting, is surrounding yourself with people who don't inspire growth. The people you spend time with shape your thoughts, habits, and vision of what's possible. Daily conversations, comments, and attitudes mold your mind. If you're around negativity, excuses, or complaints about success or life, you'll adopt those views even if you resist. Your environment's influence is stronger than your intentions if you're not vigilant. If your circle normalizes settling, criticizes success, mocks ambition, or guilts you for wanting more, they're quietly poisoning your mindset. This poison clouds your judgment, sows doubt, and dims your drive. You lower your expectations to fit in, share your goals less to avoid judgment, and hide your ambition to keep approval. Before you know it, you're stuck in the same cycle. A poverty mindset spreads like a virus. You don't need to be taught fear. Hearing it daily is enough. Watching others excuse their stagnation, blaming systems, their past, or luck is enough. Without mental resilience, you'll absorb those beliefs. Your future is tied to your circle. To change your life, choose who influences your mind. This isn't about cutting people off. It's about choosing wisely who shapes your thoughts. If your circle doesn't uplift or challenge you, seek new voices. Staying out of fear of loneliness leads to resignation, where poverty and apathy take root. Examine your relationships. Do they energize or exhaust you? Push you forward or anchor you to comfort? Focus on solutions or dwell on problems? Celebrate your progress or resent it? Your relationships shape your choices, and your choices build your future. You can't afford to waste energy on those who reject change, scorn effort, or cling to the past. Protect your mind like a fragile plant. Your new path, mindset, and discipline are delicate at first and need fertile ground, not weeds. Seek people ahead of you, books that challenge you, environments that demand growth. You'll feel out of place at first. That's where you belong. Excellence shows you what seemed impossible is normal for others. Your perspective expands, your goals grow, your standards rise. You stop tolerating what you once did. Stop excusing what you once excused. You've seen a better life is possible and within reach if you pay the price. A great environment doesn't ensure success, but a toxic one ensures failure. That price is paid in lost dreams, wasted years, and untapped potential. Nothing costs more than staying small to fit in. You don't need to sever ties harshly, but choose who you listen to and who shapes your thoughts. That choice determines whether you struggle or progress. If inspiring people are scarce, start with ideas. Read daily. Listen to great minds. Fill your mind with vision and strategy. Your environment will shift because you'll outgrow the old one. Don't fear solitude for a season. Sometimes it's the cost of breaking free. In that solitude, you'll discover yourself and the strength to create an environment of excellence, growth, and purpose. The person who guards their mind guards their future, breaking free from poverty and wealth, spirit, and intellect by choosing transformation over comfort. The sixth habit is lacking clear goals. Without direction, you're a ship adrift, hoping luck guides you to a better place. Success isn't random. It's designed, starting with a precise, measurable goal. Without goals, you react to bills, crises, or others' opinions. Your energy scatters, your drive fades, your life shrinks to survival. No matter your talent or effort, without focus, you won't reach meaningful destinations. Effort without direction exhausts you without progress. Goals change everything. Your mind sharpens, your actions align, your world supports your vision. A clear goal filters your choices. You know what to pursue and what to reject. Without goals, everything feels urgent. With them, the important takes priority. Vague wishes like, I want to do better, aren't enough. A goal is specific, with a timeline, a number, a purpose. It challenges you, forces growth, and demands new skills. That challenge is the cost of moving beyond mediocrity. Most stay poor not from lack of ability, but from lack of direction. They react to their surroundings, chasing what's uncontrollable instead of steering their choices, routines, and mindset. Without goals, your mind accepts any thought, excuse, or fear. With goals, it becomes selective, embracing what advances you and rejecting what holds you back. Write your goals daily until they're crystal clear. Write them even if you don't know how to achieve them. The how emerges when the what is solid. Your mind needs clarity, not certainty. You're not here to repeat other stories, stay in a draining job, or accept frustration as normal. You're here to break cycles and leave a legacy. That starts with a goal bigger than you, one that challenges and reminds you of your purpose. A person with a clear goal walks with purpose, rises with intention, and handles setbacks better because they know their destination. Their vision outweighs their fatigue, making them magnetic. Others sense their inner fire, fueled by goals. Without goals, you're dimmed, reacting without shaping. You weren't born for that. You're here to leave a mark on your family, community, and generation. That requires aiming, setting a target, and aligning your life toward it. Start today. Write one clear goal. How much do you want to earn? By when? Why? Who will you impact? What will you do daily to get closer? Write it, read it, repeat it. Before checking your phone, visualize it achieved and feel its triumph. That feeling drives you. When doubt creeps in, return to that vision and remember why you started. People without goals drift. Those with goals shape destiny. Don't let your life be chance. Make it a masterpiece, starting with a resolute choice. My life has purpose because I define it. The seventh habit is believing learning stops after school. Thinking you know enough or that experience is sufficient is a quiet curse. In a fast-changing world, halting learning means falling behind. Learning isn't just books or classes. It's a mindset of constant improvement, asking daily, what can I do better? What knowledge moves me closer to my goals? What's holding me back? Ignorance leads to poor choices, and poor choices keep you stuck. Poverty often stems from a lack of skills you could learn but don't, thinking it's too late or not for you. That belief that your reality is fixed is dangerous. People who change their lives start fresh, regardless of age or failures. Learning is essential. Everything you need to improve is available. You must choose to seek it and make it a habit. Examine your life. What skills do you lack? What knowledge could open doors? Selling, budgeting, leading. No skill is out of reach with commitment. Only mental laziness, choosing distractions over growth, stops you. Time spent on entertainment could build your future. Prioritize learning. Read 15 minutes daily. Swap music for educational audio. Ask nightly, what did I learn? Small steps over a year transform you. Learning boosts confidence. Each skill makes you more capable, valuable, and focused. You stop relying on others for solutions. You create opportunities because you're prepared. People notice a hunger for growth. They trust and respect you more, opening new paths. Ignorance costs time, energy, and years in routine. Learn what aligns with your purpose, mastering yourself. Each step pulls you from poverty in all forms, financial, mental, emotional. What you learn shapes how you live. For a richer life, enrich your mind. No one can take your knowledge, and no one can stop someone who grows daily. The eighth habit, often unacknowledged, is blaming others for your circumstances. Society often swaps accountability for complaints, pointing at external factors, government, employers, family, or luck, while ignoring your role. Blaming surrenders your power. It makes you a victim, waiting for the world to change. But the world doesn't pause to fix your problems. You must act. The trap is believing your life would improve if external conditions did. This paralyzes you, halting action, decisions, or growth. Time passes, opportunities fade, and poverty persists. Not because you can't escape, but because you haven't owned the escape. Taking responsibility is hard, but freeing. When you claim ownership, you stop waiting and start acting. You choose smarter, measure outcomes, and do what's needed, even without applause. This person threatens mediocrity, controlling their mindset, effort, and focus. That's the foundation of success. Responsibility isn't self-blame or thinking you're a failure. It's saying, I don't like this, but I allowed it, and I can change it. That empowers you, restoring control and showing there's always a next step. That step belongs to the one who owns it, not the one who blames. When things go wrong, don't ask, why me? Ask, what did I do? What can I change? What's in my control? These questions strengthen you, making you a strategist, not a pawn. Injustices exist, but giving up because of them is surrendering before the fight. You're here to forge your path, even from nothing, with only determination. Most blame because it's easy. Ownership is hard, but freedom is for the brave. Stop blaming, and every step becomes yours, driven by your commitment, vision, and will. No excuse justifies a purposeless life. Only choices, made or avoided, write your future. Be relentless. Don't complain without action or excuse without a solution. Ask, what will I do about this? You live with your life's results. Live them with pride, knowing you saved yourself. That person breaks free from poverty and mediocrity, choosing to be the author of their story. Poverty isn't just financial. It's a mindset. Until you shift it, no effort or income lasts. A poor mindset sabotages progress, overspending, avoiding responsibility, thinking small, delaying, waiting for motivation, rejecting learning, and blaming others. Your circumstances don't trap you. Your self-image does. The story you tell yourself, this is who I am, what I deserve, how far I'll go, defines you. As long as you believe it, change is temporary. Your identity wins, reinforced by habits, limits, and lies you accept. Change starts within. Look in the mirror and reject being a survivor or statistic. Stop defining yourself by your past or failures. Say, I am what I choose to be from now on. This isn't poetry. It's a rebellion against what's kept you small. It's rejecting the idea that this is all there is. If you feel a spark, your soul knows you're meant for more. Not just money, but becoming someone who earns, manages, and uses it to create and serve. Be disciplined, focused, true to your word, rising daily with purpose and standards. These standards build everything. Raising them shifts your world, habits, and results. You stop settling, stop staying silent when you know you're meant for more. Wealth starts in your mind, grows through discipline, and endures through character. Many gain wealth, but lose it because they didn't change inside. They saw themselves as unworthy, and it showed. But you won't repeat that. You'll break inherited cycles, not out of pride, but because you owe it to yourself. You've come too far to settle. Inside you is a leader, a warrior who's survived and now chooses to thrive, to rise, to show others how. This isn't fleeting inspiration. It's an awakening. If you're stirred, these habits no longer fit. No matter your failures or lost years, if you decide scarcity doesn't define you, everything shifts. You're different. You've chosen the harder, honorable path of transformation. It may be solitary at first, but it leads to freedom. Change your mind, and your life aligns to reward you. Not instantly, but inevitably. Inner change manifests outwardly. You'll look back and see this as the moment you stopped being poor, even before the money came. You had what mattered: character, vision, faith, and an unbreakable will to never stay the same. Now, let's deepen this journey. The habits we've discussed are interconnected, each reinforcing the others. Breaking one strengthens your ability to tackle the rest. Imagine them as chains. Each link you break weakens the entire structure holding you back. Let's revisit spending beyond your means. This habit isn't just about money. It's about instant gratification seeking. It's a symptom of a deeper issue, a lack of patience. Patience is the ability to wait for what truly matters, to prioritize long-term rewards over short-term pleasures. When you spend recklessly, you're not just draining your wallet, you're training your mind to crave instant results, which spills into other areas of life. You seek quick fixes in relationships, career, or personal growth, expecting overnight success. But lasting change is built slowly, deliberately. To counter this, practice small acts of patience daily. Save $1 instead of spending it. Wait an hour before buying something you want. These choices build a mindset that values the future over the present, creating a ripple effect across your life. Procrastination, the second habit, thrives on the same impatience. You delay because you want perfect conditions, instant clarity, or guaranteed success. But waiting for perfection is another form of seeking instant gratification. You want the outcome without the work. To break this, start with micro actions. If a decision feels overwhelming, break it into the smallest possible step and take it today. Write one sentence of a plan, make one phone call, send one email. These tiny steps accumulate, proving to your mind that progress doesn't require perfection, just movement. Thinking small, the third habit, is often rooted in fear of failure or rejection. It's safer to aim low, to avoid disappointment. But this fear limits your potential and keeps you from taking risks that could transform your life. To counter it, expose yourself to stories of people who dared to think big despite obstacles. Read about those who started with nothing and built empires through persistence. Their stories rewire your brain, showing you what's possible when you reject limitations. Relying on willpower, the fourth habit, fails because it's inconsistent. Discipline, unlike willpower, is a system you can rely on. Create routines that remove the need for constant motivation. Set a daily savings goal, schedule learning time, or block off an hour for planning. These systems act like guardrails, keeping you on track even when motivation fades. Surrounding yourself with limiting people, the fifth habit, reinforces all the others. Negative influences amplify your fears, justify procrastination, and normalize small thinking. To break free, actively seek out mentors. Even if they're virtual, follow thought leaders, join communities of ambitious people, or attend events that challenge your perspective. These connections shift your environment, making growth feel natural. Lacking goals, the sixth habit, leaves you directionless, amplifying every other limiting habit. Without a clear target, you're more likely to overspend, procrastinate, think small, rely on fleeting motivation, and stay in toxic circles. A goal gives you a reason to say no to distractions and yes to progress. Make your goals vivid. Write them in detail, visualize them daily, and break them into monthly, weekly, and daily steps. This clarity transforms vague dreams into actionable plans. Believing learning stops, the seventh habit, keeps you stagnant in a world that demands growth. Knowledge is your ladder out of poverty. Commit to learning one new skill this month: budgeting, negotiating, or coding. Start small, but be consistent. Each skill acquired builds your confidence and opens new doors, proving you're not stuck where you are. Blaming others, the eighth habit, is the ultimate surrender of power. It fuels every other habit by shifting responsibility away from you. To break it, practice radical ownership. When something goes wrong, write down 3 things you could have done differently. This exercise shifts your focus from external excuses to internal solutions, building a mindset of control. These habits don't exist in isolation. They feed off each other, creating a cycle that keeps you trapped. But just as they reinforce poverty, breaking them creates a cycle of success. Each habit you conquer strengthens your resolve to tackle the next. Start with one, any one, and commit to it for 30 days. Track your progress, reflect on your wins, and notice how your mindset shifts. Let's talk about the emotional side of this transformation. Changing habits is hard because it challenges your identity. You've lived with these patterns for years, maybe decades. They feel like part of you. Letting them go can feel like losing yourself. But you're not losing. You're evolving. The discomfort you feel is growth pushing against old boundaries. Expect resistance, not just from yourself, but from others. When you start saving, acting decisively, thinking bigger, or learning new skills, some people in your life may push back. They're comfortable with the old you, the one who fits their expectations. Their resistance isn't about you, it's about their own fears of change. Stay firm. Your transformation is yours, not theirs. To sustain this change, anchor yourself in a vision larger than your current reality. Why do you want to break free from poverty? Is it to provide for your family, to leave a legacy, to prove to yourself you can? Write that why down and revisit it daily. It's your fuel when the journey feels tough. Now, let's address the practical side. Breaking these habits requires structure. Create a daily routine that supports your new mindset. Start your morning with intention. Write your goals, review your budget, read something inspiring. These small acts set the tone for your day, reinforcing your commitment to change. Track your progress weekly. Did you save more this week? Did you make a decision you've been avoiding? Did you learn something new? Celebrate these wins, no matter how small. They're proof you're moving forward, building momentum. When setbacks happen, and they will, don't spiral into self-doubt. A setback isn't failure, it's feedback. Analyze what went wrong, adjust, and keep going. The person who succeeds isn't the one who never falls. It's the one who gets up every time. Let's talk about money specifically. Financial freedom isn't about earning millions. It's about control. Start by building an emergency fund, even if it's just $10 a week. This fund is your buffer against life's surprises, giving you peace of mind and reducing stress. Next, pay off high-interest debt. Every dollar you save on interest is a dollar you can invest in your future. Investing doesn't require wealth. It requires discipline. Learn the basics of investing, whether in stocks, real estate, or your own skills. Start small, but start. Over time, your investments compound, just like your habits. The key is consistency, not size. Your environment plays a massive role in your financial success. If your current circle doesn't support your goals, find new influences online or in your community. Join groups focused on financial literacy, entrepreneurship, or personal growth. These connections expose you to new ideas and keep you accountable. Time management is another critical piece. Poverty often comes with a sense of chaos, feeling like you're always reacting, never planning. Take control of your time. Schedule your day the night before, prioritizing tasks that align with your goals. Say no to distractions that don't serve your vision. Time is your most valuable asset. Use it wisely. Let's address mindset again, because it's the core of everything. Poverty is a state of mind before it's a state of your bank account. You can have money and still feel poor if your mindset hasn't changed. That's why self-belief is crucial. Every day affirm to yourself, I am capable of creating wealth. I am in control of my choices. I am building a better future. These affirmations rewire your subconscious, replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Surround yourself with reminders of your potential. Keep a journal of your progress, noting every step forward. When doubt creeps in, read it to remind yourself how far you've come. You're not the person you were when you started this journey. You're stronger, wiser, and more capable. Let's talk about failure, because it's part of the process. Every successful person has failed. often multiple times. What sets them apart is their refusal to let failure define them. When you stumble, ask, what can I learn from this? Use failure as a teacher, not a jailer. Each lesson makes you better equipped for the next challenge. Now, let's expand on goals. A goal isn't just a number. It's a vision of who you want to become. When you set a goal, make it specific, measurable, and tied to a deeper purpose. For example, instead of, I want to save money, say, I will save $5,000 by December 2026 to start my own business because I want to create a legacy for my family. This clarity gives your goal weight and meaning. Break your goals into milestones. If your goal is to save $5,000 in a year, that's roughly $96 a week. Suddenly, it feels achievable. Each week you hit that target, you're proving to yourself you can do this. That builds confidence, which fuels more action. Visualization is a powerful tool. Every morning, spend 5 minutes picturing your goal achieved. See yourself living the life you want. Feel the emotions, imagine the details. This practice aligns your subconscious with your goals, making them feel real and attainable. Let's address learning again. The world is changing faster than ever. New technologies, new opportunities, new challenges. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. Commit to learning something new every day, even if it's small. Read a chapter of a book, watch a tutorial, or listen to a podcast. Over time, these small efforts compound into massive growth. Learning also builds resilience. The more you know, the less you fear the unknown. Knowledge gives you options, and options give you freedom. Whether it's learning to budget, invest, or communicate effectively, each skill is a tool in your arsenal against poverty. Now, let's talk about relationships. Your circle isn't just about who you spend time with. It's about who you allow to influence your mind. If your current relationships don't support your growth, limit their impact. You don't need to cut people out entirely, but prioritize those who inspire you. Seek out mentors, even if they're through books or online content. Their wisdom will guide you when your immediate environment falls short. Discipline is the bridge between your current reality and your desired future. It's not glamorous. It's showing up every day, doing the work, even when it's boring or hard. Create a daily checklist of actions that move you toward your goals. Check them off each day, no matter how you feel. This builds a habit of consistency, which is the backbone of success. Let's address the emotional weight of poverty. It's not just about money. It's about the stress, the shame, the feeling of being trapped. These emotions can make you feel powerless, but you're not. Every action you take, saving a dollar, learning a skill, making a decision, reclaims your power. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You're a creator of your future. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and breathe. Remind yourself that you're not alone. Millions have walked this path and succeeded. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from now with all your experiences and strengths. Use them to build something extraordinary. Let's talk about legacy. Breaking these habits isn't just about you. It's about those who come after you. Your transformation sets an example for your family, your community, your children. By choosing to rise above poverty, you're showing others it's possible. You're creating a ripple effect that can change lives for generations. Finally, let's talk about faith, not just in a religious sense, but faith in yourself. Believe you are capable of change. Believe you deserve a better life. Believe your efforts will pay off. This faith, combined with action, is unstoppable. Doubt will creep in, but don't let it take root. Replace it with action, with learning, with small wins that prove you're on the right path. You're not here to live a small life. You're here to build something extraordinary, to leave a mark, to show the world what's possible when you refuse to settle. Poverty, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual, doesn't define you. It's just a starting point. Where you go from here depends on the choices you make today. This isn't a quick fix. It's a lifelong commitment to growth. But every step you take moves you closer to freedom. You're not the person you were yesterday. You're stronger, more focused, more determined. You've chosen the path of transformation, and that path leads to a life of purpose, abundance, and unshakable confidence. Start now. Pick one habit to break, one action to take, one goal to write down. Make it real. Make it yours. You're not just escaping poverty. You're building a legacy. And that legacy begins with the decision to never be the same again.